Let me do a quick introduction yet again. Welcome to the Sea Dragon Battle, powered by MSI, sponsored by A-Data. My apologies there for the screw up on the mic. So yeah, let's jump straight into the bands yet again. Let's see, we have FirstDeparture going up against Powerplay. It's a Singapore versus Philippines matchup. We see Doombringer, Brewmaster, Mirana, as well as Rave King being banned out so far by FirstDeparture. And over on Powerplay's side, we see Lycan Razor, Naga Siren, as well as Skyrock Mage being banned out. Taking a look at the pickups right now, this is a really, you know, as we spoke about earlier while I was muted, like a dumbass I was. Faceless Void and Omni Knight being the first two pickups. Shadow Shaman was one of the perfect heroes to be picked up by FirstDeparture as a 5th position to combo with the Omni Knight. Why? Because of the amount of lockdown that he has. You know, with the shackle, with the hex, you know, he's just going to be able to provide Omni Knight the free ability to heal and do that burst amount of damage, along with Faceless Void, getting those free hits off in the safe lane, should they go a tri lane to whichever the safe or the off lane. And here Undying being picked up by FirstDeparture as well. What do you think about the lineup that FirstDeparture is going for here, Claire?
Well, I think with the Undying pick, they could go for Omni, Shadow Shaman and Undying tri lane, and Faceless Void off lane. But with the Omni Knight pickup, Powerplay, they pick second pick Shadow Demon, which with the help of the ultimate, the Demonic Purge, it could purge off the repel of the Omni Knight. So, and with the Shadow Demon pick, they even pick Kunkka to combo with the Disruption. But they pick Slardar, which it's a really uncommon hero but with the current meta, but it could go both ways, so we'll see how it goes.
Yep, it definitely could go both ways for both teams here. Take us through a run-through of the Powerplay team here. We see Tidehunter, Shadow Demon, Kunkka, and Slardar. What's going to be key here for both teams in for Powerplay to actually take a game against FirstDeparture? You know, FirstDeparture being a really strong, you know, they have Miracle right now. So, you know, a really strong, one of the top teams from Singapore. What does this Philippine team have to do to actually maybe get a win off, you know, FirstDeparture?
Well, both teams are all about the early stages, because with early stages, Shadow Demon and Kunkka, they could combo with the help of Slardar, with the stun as well. But same goes to FirstDeparture with the help of the shackle and the repel, the heal from Omni Knight. So, as well as the Undying from the decay, as well as the Tombstone. So.
Yep, exactly. So all the bans are done right now. This is interesting to me. One thing about the Invoker final ban is Powerplay lacking a mid player right now, or is Kunkka gonna go mid, and they're gonna pick up a 5th position?
Could go mid and it could go safe lane, because it depends on the last pick of the FirstDeparture.
Yeah, because right now both players do not exactly have a locked in mid player. FirstDeparture, of course, they have to pick up their final mid player right now. As you see, Death Prophet was the final ban by Powerplay, so definitely don't. Interesting here. We see Shadow Fiend being picked up, not a common hero in competitive play, but Powerplay will go with it as they are mid player. FirstDeparture, what is a strong counter against this Shadow Fiend right now?
Well, they do have the Faceless Void, but with Miracle in the team, maybe they could go for Naga.
But Naga is banned out.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, my bad. Or maybe they could go for... what's a good follow-up? What's a good follow-up? They do have the 2 supports. They do have the off-lane.
Yeah, 2 strong 2 supports right now in terms of Omni Knight and Shadow Shaman. So definitely final mid hero here.
Maybe they're gonna go for Omni Knight mid.
Yeah, it might just be an Omni Knight mid. This is curious. Let's see. So Miracle is going to be playing the Faceless Void as the safe lane carry here. Omni Knight played by KS. FD Lobby on that Shadow Shaman, and Undying and Witch Doctor to kind of finish off the lineup for FirstDeparture here. This is going to be a really interesting lineup for FirstDeparture. I'm just game to see this game right now with some really, not to say unorthodox picks, but some picks that we don't see all too often. You know, Shadow Fiend being picked up here as it's really interesting here. So. Yeah, which team are you leaning to it's more right now? FirstDeparture or Powerplay?
I would go for FirstDeparture because of the Undying pick. I love Undying.
Yeah, Undying is a really strong hero. I think it's pretty underrated as well. You know, a few teams do play a really mean Undying, especially in competitive play. But yeah, it's not picked up all too often. Why is that?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Undying, there's always a better support compared to Undying. And Undying is very situation compared to other heroes, because Undyne needs to stay alive in order to stack up the DK as well as the Tombstone. So, but then again, the opponent could just focus fire on the Tombstone, and there's not much advantage on Undying anymore.
Yep, that is very true, as the game is paused as Kai needs to reconnect to the game. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is the Sea Dragon Battle powered by MSI, sponsored by AData, and brought to you by Dota Talk. Right now in this game, we see FirstDeparture going up against Powerplay in their first group match game. So this is right now we have 8 teams going up against each other that will have to play with each other in the group games. The 8 teams that are participating in this are Arrow, Titan, FirstDeparture, Mythras, Invasion, Team NXL, Insidious Idol, and Powerplay. So really curious here, we see 2 Singaporean teams in the form of FirstDeparture and Insidious Idol, and the sole representative from each country being Philippines, Indonesia, as well as Thailand. So Mythras representing Thailand, Team NXL representing Indonesia, while Powerplay represents Philippines. And we have 3 Malaysian teams here, Arrow, Titan, as well as Invasion. Invasion taking the first game against Arrow in the previous game, and right now Titan going up against Invasion over on hitbox.tv/Sea Dragon Battle as well. So as we wait for the final player to actually join up the game, what do you think the lanes are going to be right now?
Well, for Powerplay, they're gonna go for, of course, it's gonna be a Shadowfiend mid, and then maybe a tri-lane. Yeah, it's gonna be a tri-lane Kunkka, Shadow Demon, as well as a Tide Hunter. But Slada could go for a safe lane, maybe rush the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I would put a Slaughter to the mid, safe lane, to be honest, to get the fast Blink Dagger, as you pointed out, because a fast dagger on that Slaughter can just do so much against this FirstDeparture team. If he's able to actually jump in and stun out Omni Knight before he can get off, his repel, or if he can burst down that Omni Knight, because Omni Knight is going to be key for this FirstDeparture team in terms of those team fights, because you have to watch for him. Basically his purification as well as that repel is going to be the strong points of this FirstDeparture team. So they're going to have to take down this Omni Knight really quickly in those team battles and those team clashes as well. So Shadow Shaman going up against a mid who is probably gonna be Omni Knight? I don't know.
No, Shadow Fiend, you mean?
No, yeah, Shadow Fiend going up against, as in his opponent. Is it gonna be Omni Knight or is it gonna be Witch Doctor? Who is the first position player for FD?
First position, I think it's gonna be. I'm not really sure because I don't follow up the other regions.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, we'll wait and see. So finally Kai is going to join the game, so we're going to get the game undergoing hopefully soon, and we'll be able to see, will it be a Shadow Fiend against Omni Knight setup or against a Witch Doctor? Which do you think is better though? Which do you think is better for FirstDeparture to place against in the mid lane?
I would say Omni Knight, but or maybe Miracle.
Yeah, even Miracle, but then again, he does need that farm, so...
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Miracle.
Oh, it does look like he's actually going towards that middle lane with the 2, shared tangos as well as that early Pearl Man's shield to go up against the Shadow Fiend. He might have the support of a Shadow Shaman. It might be a dual mid.
Yeah, maybe. And Omni Knight is just gonna go and casually walk in the jungle, while the Radiant team though.
Yep, Omni Knight has to be really careful here. He's actually going to go down. He's going to run into the team directly right now. There you go. The disruption going to be used here. Nice Kanka follow up here as well as the Gush, and down he goes. Early first blood kill for Powerplay as Philippines team comes out on top. Omni Knight, not sure what he was doing there. Just... I don't know, he seemed to be too casually, as you said, walking in his own jungle with no regard for, a possible 5-man gank, which is what exactly happened to him. And he just gave away a first blood kill. Who got it, actually? Okay, so Shadow Shaman is going to pick up the first blood, and he does have that boost. Look at that, an early boost along with the magic stick. And that's going to allow him to to up the career as well at the moment the 3-minute mark comes along. So... Witch Doctor gonna get DC'd yet again, as we see him at that middle lane, in fact, with that Faceless Void. So it is gonna be a dual mid, Faceless Void and Witch Doctor maybe? Or maybe Witch Doctor is going top lane, I don't know.
Witch Doctor is just gonna stay around mid for a while, just to annoy the Shadow Fiend, because Shadow Fiend, he didn't go for the Necromastery, he went for the Razes, to clear the wave faster, so he could gain the level faster as well.
But going level 1 Shadow Rays, is that actually good? Because, you know, level 1, it's only going to do 75 damage. So in terms of getting last hits, I guess that's good. But he does not have much mana. So I would have actually, you know, this is not something you usually see. I think the reason why he went Shadow Rays is because he went for the early gank on Omni Knight.
I think that's the reason.
Yeah,
why he went Rays.
So it's really interesting to see. I in fact would have actually think that he would have been able to do the amount of burst damage on that Omni Knight regardless of him having the Shadow Rays. So I would have actually preferred to see him go for the Necromastery actually, because he definitely needs those early you know, creep kills against this Faceless Void. Because if you take a look at the damage, okay, right now Faceless Void has 70 base damage compared to a Shadow Fiend with 46 plus 3, so 49. He's gonna have an extremely hard time as a Shadow Fiend going up against a melee that is Miracle.
But maybe that's why the Razors is used for.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you can say Shadow Rays is that's why he's you know, skilled it up, because he is going to be able to try and use it to get off those last hits. But you know, you do still want to get those early points in your what's the second skill called? Yeah, Necromastery.
Well, like you point out, it was used to burst down on the gang on top, because they didn't know that it was Omni alone. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, because Witch Doctor is gonna go mid as well to just annoy Shadow Fiend. So Shadow Fiend just gonna have a very hard time.
Yep, Witch Doctor is at that middle lane right now, but it does look like he's actually just rotating to plant those wards. He does have a ward down right now, so it does look like he's just moving towards the top lane to get down the ward. And in fact, Slardar is actually going to be able to pick up a double damage rune. Not too sure if that's going to spell anything for this PP team, Powerplay team. They do not exactly have fixed lockdown. Of course, they do have a strong combination in the Disruption as well as the Torrent by both Shadow Demon as well as Kunkka. So if they do it right, along with the Slardar stun, you know, they might be able to get an early pick off yet again on that Omni Knight with the double damage. So he has to be really careful not to get caught off position at the top lane. And of course, bottom lane, we haven't spoken about it. It's going to be a Tidehunter going up against an Undying. Who's going to win at that bottom lane? I think Undying is going to be having a pretty good time at the bottom against Tidehunter.
Yeah, that depends, because even with the strength gain from strength steal from the Undying, Tidehunter does have the Kraken Shot as well as the Anchor Smash. But because of the gang on top, he went for the Gust. So maybe a little disadvantage from Tidehunter because of that.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe. So we see double damage going to be picked up by Slardar as he actually moves back to his lane from the backside. As Witch Doctor is going to place down that ward and stay with Faceless Void. No, he's going to actually, I think he's going to rotate top.
Yeah, he's going to rotate
top. And look at that, you know, Faceless Void with that big amount of early damage, he's just going to deny those creeps, and there's nothing that Shadow Fiend is actually going to be able to do about it. And double damage rune on that Slardar actually forces Omni Knight as well as that Rasta to back off. They do not want to engage or even come close to this Slardar, because any amount of stun, you know, an early stun, and basically that's going to be it for him.
And they were trying to set up, but because the dire side doesn't know what's happening, so now they're just gonna stack the cam and pull.
Yep, nice, good job by stacking those cams and pulling early on. As you know, Shadow Demon again, they are realizing this. They're going to try and stop the pull maybe here. Omni Knight, is going to be able to get those early levels. Being in a tri-lane, they definitely needs to maybe try and allow him to get those early levels. Rasta definitely needs his level 6 early as well. So yeah, so right now at this middle, let's take a look. Creep kills right now, 5 for Faceless Void and only 2 for Shadow Fiend. So he's definitely taking an early lead here at the middle lane. So Shadow Fiend, man, he's gonna have a really uphill battle at this middle lane.
Right, it just takes time to let the souls to increase, and after that.
And some harass now going on between both teams at this top lane. Verification actually not going to connect with Kunkka there, as Kunkka just taking a bit of damage by the support heroes coming in from FirstDeparture, as he will be able to back off. Shadow Demon providing the same counter harass as well. And this is what you were saying. Yeah, Shadow Fiend now with 2 points in Shadow Rays is going to be able to harass Miracle so bad. Miracle's going to have a really hard time at this middle lane. I expect a support from FirstDeparture to actually rotate towards the middle lane. Otherwise, he's going to have a pretty hard time. He's just going to get, you know, out harassed here by that Shadow Rays.
And Shadow Fiend is just gonna get the border up. No, he's gonna go for boots instead of border.
Yep, he's gonna get an early boots. so he's able to actually chase down the Shadow Fiend, because he knows that Shadow Fiend won't be able to actually do much against this. You know, Faceless Void is not going to be able to do much against Shadow Fiend with those early raises. Look at him, he's just harassing him, free hits non-stop with those Shadow raises as well. He can't do anything. Top lane though, Disruption, nice torrent onto Witch Doctor as well, but Purification going to be used. Stun going to follow up by Slaughter, and down goes Witch Doctor. As now, they are going to try and turn things around here. Kunkka going to fall here with a nice shackle from Shadow Shaman. TP coming in, back by the Witch Doctor, and they're going to have to get out of here. Slaughter has to be really careful, being body blocked by Omni Knight. They're doing a really good job, but here comes Rasta. Nice use of the first skill, the lightning shock, fork lightning, to actually do so much damage onto him, as down goes Shadow's damage. Shadow Demon at that top lane as well. So 2 for 2 right now at this top lane, as Miracle is again forced to continuously buy tangles as well as pots to maintain his status at this middle lane.
Undying is doing pretty good against Tidehunter, like you said.
Yep, as I pointed out, you know, Undying definitely gonna have a really good time against Tidehunter, but of course Tidehunter is a hero that is really hard to stop his farm, especially if you're a melee hero. So he's doing decent, 17 and 5, going up against a 14 and 2 Tidehunter at this bottom lane. But yeah, both heroes just doing pretty decent job. Both will get level 6 early on, and hopefully they will be able to push and get those early what's that called? Early levels? Clashes as well.
Clashes. Middle lane, Miracle tried to go on the Shadow Fiend, but his RNG was just with him, because he leveled 3 levels on time lock and not even 1 proc for around 5 hits. So
yep, so just some unlucky RNG at that middle lane right now. So yeah, Omni Knight still at the top lane. He is already level 4, so it's going to be pretty hard to kill him off. But this Powerplay combination at this top lane does have the damage to do so. Unfortunately, Witch Doctor is there to provide the support needed. And here we go. We see Shadow Fiend being caught off here by Undying. He's chasing him down. Shadow Fiend has to be really careful here. A Haste Rune. Is there a Haste Rune? No, no Haste Rune on that Undying. It was just his speed there. As he drops really, really low. Last hit, but he will not go down. Shadow Shaman actually trying to maybe pick him off with the Ether Shock, but that's going to be it, as Shadow Fiend will have to go back to the middle, to his base, to try and heal up here. Ping's coming out here by Shadow Demon, as he's maybe looking for a kill. Here comes Tidehunter. Gush going to be used, as well as the Anchor Smash, doing so much damage. Undying in some trouble, but he does have that boots, and you know, Tidehunter just really slow hero. He has to be really careful, and nice use of the neutral keeps to actually deny himself. Shadow Demon though, here comes Faceless Void. He's going to be caught here. Shadow Demon, Shackle going to be used, as Faceless Void gets those free hits. Nice Ether Shock to do that burst damage, and Miracle will be able to get a free kill at that middle lane, boosting his farm that much more. Shadow Fiend rotates back to the middle lane, and he's going to be trying and be able to, you know, continue to get that early
top lane. Slaughter.
Top lane. Go down. Yep, Slaughter probably going to go down here at this top lane with that Maledict. Will he be able to survive here? He survives with 3 HP. My goodness. Unlucky Witch Doctor.
It must be the power threads switching because of the extra HP boost of the strength boots. So, and Shadow Fiend, he's just gonna stack and get more subs.
Yep, definitely there. At this top lane, we see him TPing back. Tidehunter is at the top lane, so they may be gonna think about going in on this. They have the ward plays down, but they the FD team is gonna retreat here, and Shadow Demon is not gonna be able to get his engage.
Middle lane.
Middle lane. We see some interesting action going on here as Miracle goes in with the ulti. In comes the Shadow Shaman for Ether Shock, as well as the Shackle gonna prove too much for Shadow Fiend to handle as he falls at this middle lane. Here comes the TP rotation by Slaughter though. Will he be able to get a kill off the Miracle? He does not have his level 6, so he will not be able to do some damage. But here comes the rotation by the supports of Powerplay, but that's not going to connect here, as FirstDeparture will be able to get away safely for that Miracle at that middle lane.
Well, Powerplay could have used smoke to engage on mid, but why didn't they?
I don't know, maybe they expected a ward, a placement somewhere?
Well, they could have smoked here and walked just straight on here, but yeah, a bit of misplay.
Yeah, but there was a ward actually placed down here at this moment. It just expired. So technically they would have been able to see the smoke gang should it had been done here. So it really depends. Yeah, but right now Undying at that bottom lane, going up against a Slaughter who has rotated again. We see the supports of Powerplay rotating towards the bottom lane, and Tidehunter going up top against this Omni Knight. So a bit of rotation from both sides. Why do you think so? They did that?
Undying is doing pretty good at bottom, so they need to gang on the Undying, just so that Undying doesn't get the items.
Yep, definitely. As Undying has to be really careful here. Disruption going to be used. Torum going to be placed down as well. As he's going to be get shot into the air. Slada going to follow up with his stun. But here are the supports from First Departure as well. As Slada will be the first to fall. Shackle going to follow through onto that Kunkka. Ravage going to be used to try and turn things around here. But the damage has been done. 2 heroes down for power play. As Undying will not be able to escape away with his life. Heal the Voodoo Restoration going to be used by Witch Doctor. But it's not going to be enough as he falls. Nice rotation by Tidehunter. Coming to that bottom lane, picking up 2 kills of his own at that bottom to turn things around. So a 2 for 2 trade right now, as First Departure only with a 1 kill advantage at this bottom lane so far. So what went wrong for First Departure? They did a good counter initiation as Powerplay went in. They did their combination onto that Undying, but they were unable to take him down in time. And First Departure were able to pick off 2 kills in counter initiating, but in came the Tidehunter to wreak havoc onto this First Departure team. So what happened there in that clash?
No, there was too much damage output from Shadow Demon. Because Shadow Demon went.
Sorry to cut you off yet again. Shadow Fiend getting Maledict here. He should go down. As Miracle chasing him down here, trying to get his few hits off. Not gonna happen just yet, and he has to be really careful. Shadow Ray's not gonna connect. As another TP coming in, and Disruption gonna be used as well. Shadow, Faceless Void actually not gonna be able to get away. He actually was able to time walk, but he will go down there. As now Witch Doctor as well as Rasta is running for their lives. Here comes Slaughter. He does have that sprint. He is gonna try and chase him down. Stun gonna be used though, but X-Mark the squad is gonna connect, and Slaughter will be able to get the stun off, and Shadow Demon will be able to get the kill. No, actually Witch Doctor just falling to the neutral, to the creeps of Powerplay. So 7-7 now for both teams at Powerplay. Pull 1 back, and wow,
a very good clash for Powerplay.
Yeah, very good catch for Powerplay indeed at that middle lane, forcing Faceless Void back, picking off a kill on him, and picking up a subsequent kill on that Witch Doctor to tie things up in terms of kills right now. So First Departure, Omni Knight still at that top lane, trying to push down the lane a little bit, you know, maybe going to go for the early tier 1 tower. Shadow Fiend, however, at that middle lane, he is rotating back, and Miracle is still doing a decent job. Right now, let's take a look at the net worth tab. Yep, so Faceless Void still top of the chain, 3.5k, along with Omni Knight also following closely behind. But there's 3 heroes on Powerplay to follow, which are going to be Shadow Fiend, Tidehunter, as well as Slaughter.
Man, Undying is doing pretty good as well.
Yep, Undying doing a really good job at that bottom lane, considering, you know, the combination that he has to go up against. Slaughter right now only with 700 gold. I would like to see him pick up the dagger really soon. He's probably going to be able to get it at about the 14-minute mark. Should this continue, I guess, unless he's able to pick up a few more kills. But right now I think 14-minute mark would be a safe point for Slaughter to actually pick up the dagger, and that's going to help his team out so much. And right now some rotations coming in from Witch Doctor with a smoke gang. They are going to be revealed here though, as Kunkka will be able to catch him off, as their rotation is not going to connect. No stun going to land onto Shadow Fiend. It's going to bounce between Shadow Demon. They have to be really careful, but here comes the TP. In comes the Tidehunter. Does he have his Ravage up? Yes, he does. Will he be able to connect onto it? Gush going to be used, but good RNG by backtrack, by that Faceless Void with the backtrack, as he's not going to take much damage at the middle lane. So they're just going to be content with maybe pushing this tier 1 tower. And will they be able to do so though? In comes the TPs. Here comes Faceless Void. Ulti gonna be used as they will look to take down this Tidehunter. Shadow Demon walks straight into it. Torrent gonna not connect. Tidehunter gonna be able to get his ulti up, but Repel gonna be used as Tidehunter not falling just yet. Maledict though on him. He's probably gonna go down. Yes, he's gonna go down to the Witch Doctor Maledict, but that's gonna be it. As Faceless Void gonna get away with his life. Omni Knight providing support there. Repel gonna be used as well, but I don't think that Faceless Void is gonna be able to dive in onto the team, as they will be able to get a kill onto that Tidehunter. I guess Tidehunter just overstaying a little bit. I'm not too sure.
No, he was trying to release the Ravage, but he got bashed by the Faceless Void. So with the help of the Repel, Miracle is still able to bash, do some damage.
Yep. The Tidehunter did drop really low, and he was able to survive a little bit longer. But that's all, you know, that he was able to do, survive. But in the end, he did go down, unable to deny the bottom tier 1 tower. But
Miracle.
try as Miracle at this middle lane. He could be caught opposition. What is this Shadow Demon doing? Shadow Demon, what?
I think he froze for a while.
Hold on. I believe the stream is having some issues right now. I think with the server that is Singapore. So we actually changed servers to a Singapore server that was set up by Hitbox TV, a temporary one. So I think they may be having some disconnection issues maybe right now, but it seems to have stabilized. Hopefully it'll be okay, but I'm having the same reconnection issues right now, so hopefully it'll be better. But yeah, so getting back into this game right now, FirstDeparture grouping up in this middle lane, going for the middle tier 1 tower. In goes Faceless Boy with the repel. He's just bossy right now as Shadow Fiend will fall. In comes Undying, gonna have that tombstone set up here in a really strategic position. Stardar though gonna be able to stun up onto Omni Knight, but that's gonna be it as he's now blocked off by the creeps, as he's gonna fall down as well. Really well played by FirstDeparture, as they will be able to stop the, Tidehunter gonna come back into the fray of things, but ulti gonna be used. Chronosphere by Faceless Void, as he will be able to take down Shadow Demon, and there's gonna be a 4th kill onto that Tidehunter. Conquer the Soul Survivor, as FirstDeparture just extends their lead 12-7. My goodness, FirstDeparture doing an absolute good job against Powerplay here at this middle lane.
It was a very good engagement from Miracle as well, with the Chrono. And the zombies did a lot of work from Undying.
Yep, as the stream does disconnect yet again, so not too sure what's going on. I think the Singapore server, hold on, let me get as the go for the Roshan, let me let the admins know. Singapore server suffering some disconnections. So I'm suffering some disconnections and reconnections. There's no packet loss, there's no drop frames, it's just suffering some disconnections. So yeah, but right now FirstDeparture in this game, they will be able to take down the Roshan, and that's a free A-Gaze for them right now. For FirstDeparture, hold on, DC again. So this is starting to get a little bit frustrating. The stream seems to continuously disconnect here as Shadow Demon gets caught off position as he gets taken down. FirstDeparture forcing Powerplay to back off yet again. Tombstone again placed in a really good position. As here goes Faceless Void with the repel, going to be able to slow down Tidehunter and take him down. And Shadow Fiend, he's going to have to back off right now. So again, I apologize for the stream. Again, Hitbox TV is rather new, and this is a new server that has been set up, a temporary Singapore server that has been set up by Hitbox TV. So probably just suffering some issues right now, because I'm not having any dropped frames, so it's not my net. I believe just probably some disconnection issues from the Singapore server. So do bear with me as I try to inform the admins, and maybe they will be able to fix the issue for us. As FirstDeparture now pushing down this middle tier 1, tier 2 tower to try and further extend their lead. Let's take a look at the difference in gold right now. Almost 6,000, almost 7,500 actually, in favor of FirstDeparture. EXP wise, exactly the same. So FirstDeparture are extending their lead as Powerplay look not too well in this game right now. What do they need to do to come back into this game, player?
They need the Silencer to get the mechanism up, and the Shadow Fiend to get more farm. As well as the Slayer, he needs the Blink Dagger first. But they do need to ward up first though, because the Dire side does have a very aggressive ward. And the Radiant...
getting an echo from your in-game voice. Yeah. Your in-game voice is coming up, so you could mute your in-game voice. Yeah, so a little bit of echo there. Sorry, my apologies. We haven't set up in-game stream. I believe there are some people watching as top lane now. We see a repel onto that Omni Knight. He's gonna get stunned off, but here comes Miracle with a nice Chronosphere, catching off 4 heroes, taking down 1, taking down 2, taking down 3, taking down 4. This is a massacre right now for Powerplay as FirstDeparture. Here comes Shadow Shaman with that Blink Dagger, gonna be able to catch Slardar as well, and Slardar is probably going to drop down. It is a 5-man wipe for FirstDeparture as Powerplay just gets pushed down even more. So right now, 19-7 in the matter of a few minutes here as Powerplay just gets pushed to their limits as FirstDeparture is slowly but surely taking down this game.
But they still do have the A-Gaze advantage, so...
Yeah, and they still have that A-Gaze advantage as well, so this is looking really bleak for Powerplay. They definitely can still come back in this game, but they're gonna have to do a lot here.
And Powerplay, they need to play really safe. And they they hopefully FD could
They need
make
to
a
create some space. Look at this. Shadow Shaman just playing so aggressive, blinking in, catching that Shadow Demon. But that's going to be it as he's now forced to back off. Tidehunter going to go in with the Rampage, catching 4 heroes. This is the window of opportunity here. But Repel going to be used onto that Shadow Rasta. As now, here we see Witch Doctor getting caught off position, or Undying getting caught off position as he gets taken down. And this is a good push by Powerplay, taking 1 kill back as First Departure will have to back off here. Just overcommitting a little bit too much, but they were able to take down that that top tier 2 tower. So that's a big win for them. As Faceless Void Miracle, he's just so sneaky. They catch him though. They see him in the jungle. They have to be really careful. Rasta gonna be able to shackle onto Slaughter, but that's it. Nice. Nope, not gonna connect actually as they placement by both sides. Miracle coming in. Nice use of the Chronosphere yet again, catching 4 heroes. He will be able to take down 1. Shadow Fiend dropping just now. Egg is gonna proc as he's gonna come back to life. Ulti on the Witch Doctor gonna force Powerplay back as Powerplay are in disarray right now. Here comes Rasta blinking in, gonna shackle onto that Slaughter as he gets taken down. X marks the spot onto that. Oh no, actually X marks the spot onto that Slaughter as he has already fallen. Shadow Demon though, he has to be really careful as he gets caught here yet again as Miracle picks up another kill. Wicked Sick 22-8 for First Departure. Powerplay are basically crumbling right now.
And Miracle, he was very patient. He was waiting for the chrono to cool down. It was on 15 seconds I think, and he just hiding in the trees. So when it was off cooldown, he just time walk it and chrono for man.
Yep, it is a miracle, of course, you know, one of the top players in Southeast Asia, one of the top carries. He is, however, having to go to national service soon, which is a huge blow to his Dota 2 career. Unfortunately, he is unable to, you know, further delay his thing.
Miracle.
Oh, yep, Miracle spotting Tidehunter. How did he actually see Tidehunter though? Oh, that ward placement, yeah.
Yeah, there's a ward.
That ward placement, he goes in but unable to take down Tidehunter with the anchor smash, actually negating some of his damage, and that's gonna be it. He's trying to go for that solo kill, but did not want to overcommit to it because, you know, anytime Powerplay could have his teammates behind, and basically he could have been given a free kill to this Powerplay team.
And Miracle, he's very farmed up. 1.3 and he's gonna go for the Junior.
I'm hearing your in-game voice. How do I disable your voice in-game?
Go to the options and click on mute co-buster.
Where's the options?
Down the top left.
Hold on. As Miracle now jumps in onto this Slaughter, trying to stun him out, but he will get stunned in fact. And Maldeck on him, he's not going to survive. I'll do it in the next broadcast, not this one. So if you could just mute your mic for now, we'll do it in the next broadcast and we'll set it up all nice and deadly. So for now, we see bottom lane now pushing down the bottom tier 2 tower as First Departure will be able to get the tower as well. Shadow Fiend here will be able to get the Constellation tier 1 top tower, and it does look like First Departure are going to try and go for high ground. Torrent's going to connect here, but that's going to be it. Just some harass as now Miracle breaching high ground here. Can Powerplay actually defend this? Rasta Ward's going to be used, Tombstone going to be placed down as well. So this is not looking too good for Powerplay. They have to try and maybe, you know, defend this. Torrent gonna connect, Faceless Void dropping really low, but nice Undying heal coming out for him as, you know, the tier 3 tower is gonna fall. Ravage is available by Tidehunter, but in comes the Faceless Void with that repel. And Ravage gonna be used, connecting onto 2, but Guardian Angel gonna be used by Omni Knight as Rasta, he's gonna catch that Slaughter. It's gonna be a 5-man wipe. It's godlike for Miracle as well, and GG being called by Powerplay just like that in 20 minutes. First Departure just looks to be too strong for Powerplay as the Singapore top team will be able to take down Powerplay in their first game. So just really well played to First Departure, my goodness.
Very patient from Miracle as well with the chrono. At least every chrono he caught at least 3 men inside his chrono here.
Yep, almost every single Chronosphere he was able to catch 3 heroes, and so really well played to Miracle. He's the MVP, definitely just knowing when to go in, knowing when to come out, and basically the team just stepped over Powerplay. They did some really good plays early on, but that was it. They just could not keep up with First Departure, and, you know, eventually they just slipped too far behind, and First Departure just went all the way. And yeah, Powerplay, unfortunate for them, really well played by First Departure. Any last words to say about the game?
No, very well played by First Departure. The engagement, but Powerplay did some plays at early stages with the combination of Shadow Demon, but well played by Miracles.
Yep, really well played by Miracle. So That's going to be it for today, I believe. Tune in tomorrow for more games as the group stage continues for the Sea Dragon battle. My name was ArticShadow, and joining me was Flare, of course. So yeah, that's going to be it for the cast today. I believe Titan Invasion are still being played on the main channel, hitbox.tv/Sea Dragon battle. So do head over there if you're looking for those games. So yeah, but for now, my name is ArticShadow, and again, Flare joining me. We're signing off.